Welcome back to another episode of Rocking Twenties. We're now on episode 10, and I hope you've found meaningful information, encouragement, and value from the past 9 episodes we've put out. And thank you so much for listening and being here. I know I don't post as regularly as other podcasts, but I'm so happy that there are people who manage to listen to our episodes even if we don't have a regular schedule. And we're working on actually having that schedule, guys. So thank you so much for listening, and for those who always comment and share your thoughts. I really appreciate them and I love reading them. So don't be shy. Post your comments, let me know your thoughts, or send us a message on our social media channels. Before we get on to our topic, I would love it if you would support this whole passion project by actually subscribing or following this podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. And if you're on YouTube, you can give this video a thumbs up and subscribe since you're here. Okay, enough of the promo. We're here to talk about spending our time. Have you ever experienced a time in your life when 24 hours seems just not enough? After working the whole day, working on your side hustles, taking care of your other responsibilities, you go home and you go straight to sleep, and then you wake up and it feels like your sleep was never enough and you just feel more exhausted than the day before. Well, that used to be me, and if you can relate, keep listening. So I've been reading about time management, and I came across this nugget of wisdom from Brian Tracy. And he said that 10 to 12 minutes of planning your day will save at least 2 hours of wasted time and effort throughout the day. And I think I agree with that. Now, I still have a lot of things going on top of my full-time job. I'm working on side projects, I'm working on this podcast, and of course, I have other responsibilities aside from work. But now, since that I've learned how to manage and wisely spend my time, I've been enjoying my everyday, and it doesn't feel like 24 hours is no longer enough. So what happened and what changed? Here are the things that I've learned. First, I learned to take it slow. I know this sounds counterproductive since we feel like we're running out of time. Why should we take things slow, right? But hear me out. Right now, almost everyone is in a hurry. I mean, we have a limited time and we don't know when we'll die, right? I mean, God only knows when that time will come. We try to reach our goals faster, beat our deadlines, and overall just be an efficient human being. And that's not wrong. But a life lived in such a hurry is very exhausting. I remember a time when I was an intern in Manila. I rented a place one train station away from the company where I was having my training. So it will take me probably 20 or less minutes of train time to actually get home. But since we're in Manila, that wouldn't happen. So as soon as the clock strikes 6 p.m., I will literally rush to the elevator, get out of the building, and walk as fast as I can to the train station. Because it will only take me about a few minutes of being late for me to miss the train. And then I would have to wait a very long time for another train. And that time where I'm supposed to just spend 20 minutes in commute would probably take another hour or so. I was such in a hurry morning and evening, and all I wanted was for it to be over. And it didn't feel good at all. I know many people have done this for years and are still doing this because Manila is notorious for its traffic. But what am I saying? Again, a life lived in such a hurry is very exhausting. And I know that taking it slow can be a luxury sometimes. There are things that we can take slowly, and there are things that we have no control of. So let's just focus on the things that we can. Okay? So here's a tip from my experience. Try your best to wake up a little bit earlier than you normally would. I mean, about 10 to 20 minutes of your regular wake up time. Every day, my work begins at 7 a.m. And before, I used to just wake up just in time for me to get ready and What would normally happen is that my alarm goes off and I will rush to the bathroom and get ready and be on my computer by 7 a.m. But that wasn't really a good experience for me. That habit didn't help me at all focus on work. So what I did was, even if it was hard at the beginning, I started waking up earlier. And I mean about 40 to 1 hour earlier than I normally would. Why? Because I knew that for me to be more effective and for me to really enjoy the day, I have to do things slowly first thing in the morning. Waking up earlier gave me that precious time of reflection and prayer, and nothing feels better than waking up slowly, gently, and quietly in the morning and not having to rush out of your room to the bathroom right away. And once it's time to work, your mind, your brain is about 80% ready. I found out by experience this really improves your overall mood for the day, and it really makes a lot of difference. So remember, the first thing you can do to manage your time wisely is to take things slow first thing in the morning. And next, I learned to plan. Write your tasks for the day. We always feel like there's never enough time when sometimes there actually is. We just fail to plan. Before you sleep or before starting work, make it a habit to write down your tasks for the day. For me, I use the Google Task app to keep track of my schedule and the tasks I have for the whole day, and even for the whole week. And trust me, it just feels so good to tick off all those boxes when a task gets completed. When we don't have a plan laid out, it's easy for us to get sidetracked. And do you know that I've learned that an average worker spends about 2 hours recovering from distractions? I don't know about you, but 2 hours seems like a lot of time wasted. Personally, I get distracted pretty often too, but how much worse could it be if I didn't plan at all, right? It's about time that you write the task and the things you want to accomplish every day, and you'll see the difference it can make. Committing to this plan or to-do list, you'll actually find out that there are things that takes less time to accomplish than you thought it would. That buys you more time to do other things that you want to do or have to do. And lastly, I learned to name my priorities. Oftentimes, we get tangled into things that we don't really enjoy or want or need. Sometimes, these are things that are not healthy for us at all. And that means something that we don't value is eating away our time. This could mean a project you were pressured to say yes to, a date you didn't want to go to, or, to be honest, we just waste a lot of time on social media. I'm pretty guilty about that. But I think one of the most effective ways to manage our time at a macro level is by naming and writing down our priorities. By doing this, you get a view of what is important to you and how you would actually want to spend your time weekly or daily. And therefore, it makes you feel more inclined to get rid of those things that you figure unnecessary in your life. For example, if you name time for family as one of your top priorities and actually allot the time for it, you will soon find it easier to say no to things that will take away that precious time you can spend for your family. I know this sounds so simple, but how many of us actually write down the things that matters to us most? So know your priorities, name them, and give less attention to the things that you don't value in life. So remember, take things slow. At a micro level, you can plan your day, write down your tasks for the day, and at a macro level, know your priorities and how you would like to spend your time. These things are not groundbreaking discoveries about how one can manage or spend their time wisely. I'm pretty sure you already know about these things, but we can all benefit from a friendly reminder, right? And these are the things that I've learned, and right now, even though so much is still going on with my personal life and with my work life, I really have been enjoying my everyday. And surprisingly, I find that I have more time to spend on things that I actually want to learn or things that I just want to enjoy. Again, time is precious. It's something that we can't take back. I bet none of us would wish that we had spent more time on social media when we're on our deathbeds. And yeah, we never know when it will be time's up for us. Time is limited. Exchange it for the things that you value and exchange it for the people that you love most. Okay, that's all. I hope you learned a little bit of something, and I really hope that we all manage our time wisely and spend every bit of our lives with purpose. And before I go, I really love reading comments. So if you have any thoughts about this, if you have nuggets of wisdom you want to share with me and for others who are listening, comment them down below and I will surely read them and respond to it. Yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for spending your time on this podcast. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share this with your friends if you think that they will benefit from it. That's all. I hope that you have the best days of your life. Keep rocking in your 20s. Bye. But before I forget, me and the people working with me in this whole Rocking 20s thing is preparing something big this coming October. And I know it might be just big for me, but it really is taking a lot of our time and I'm really excited for it. So it would mean so much if you can support this podcast by sharing this with your friends or just by subscribing or giving a rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts. That would mean a lot to us. So yeah, thank you so much and have a good day. Bye.